Hello everybody, Frrrrrred here, and welcome to another Minecraft video from Fred and the Minecraft Corps of Engineers, that is M.C.O.E. Today I am going to be giving you a tour of the world usually uploaded to my realm, an Ethnian city. Observe the vast vista of work in progress spread out before you. It's been a work in progress for a long time. Several years, in fact, because of the small amount of work having been done on it during that time. However, it has a rich and varied history, and I will be giving you a tour of it and telling you about the rich and varied history. Before you, you see the gate of the city. Here is a sign where it says Citadel Sud. However, I have misspelled both Citadel and Sud. Sud having an H on the end, and Citadel not generally having a space in it. But we can overlook this, because in my younger days I had no brain. Observe, spread out before you again. No, now you can see the hovels. See, there needs to be a lot more hovels. In fact, this whole area directly in front of the gates should be covered with hovels. The purple double line marks the edge of the city wall, and the black dotted line marks the point out to which the hovels should extend. So yeah, lots of hovels that need to be built. But I have faith that they will be built by someone at some point. These hovels form an ocean of small buildings around the wall of the city. Most of the buildings inside the city are a little bit bigger and more comfortable than the hovels. And 90% of them, I would say actually 100% of them, are built in the Ethnian style, or variations thereon, as demonstrated in my Ethnian build video. The city is surrounded by a city wall, more than half of which has been built. This section, from here to the gate, has not been built yet. And Dark Chief will build it. He's one of the members of our team, a subordinate of mine. Anyhow, let's go in the gates. Note, rotting heads and skulls of different varying ages spiked upon the portcullis. But, this grim thing to greet us, notwithstanding, we shall enter the city, the great city of the desert. It's actually pretty big. Here we have Abu Ben Franklin, bad wines at low prices, fabulous little shop, and over here we have Chirag's Pots. There they are, all two of them. We're not going to look at every single of the many houses and shops in this vast metropolis. That would take, well, if not forever, then too long. But we are going to look at some of the highlights. For example, Faladin's Fresh Chicken, stabbed this morning. There it is. There they are, that is. These look like heads. I wonder where the rest of the chicken is. But, isn't the head the best part? Yes, it is. Over here, we're going to go this way. We're going to go this way. We're going to go through there. We're going to have a look over there. We're going to look over here. Maybe look over there. I don't know. We're just going to improvise. Just going to wander around. I actually haven't been in this place for a while because although it's usually uploaded to my realm, I'm not usually on my realm, sadly. And I've had some other stuff uploaded recently. It's pretty grim. The Ethnians fight the Handites. This is during the period of the Handite-Ethnian War. You'll hear a lot about that later. But, you can look at Ethnian and Handite house tutorials on this channel. Go look at them. But not right now, because you're watching this video. Anyway, here's the execution area. Next execution, Wednesday. And it's quite an ingenious little design. You pull this thing. It opens up, drops you out of the world. Yeah. Pretty painful, actually. Over here we've got a little El Margarita Tallian restaurant. Now, speaking of Tallian, you've seen a Tallian walkthrough also on this channel. Go check it out. But not right now, because you're watching this video. That was a little bit awkward. I still don't have this keyboard quite right yet. Whatever. Anyway, so, you've seen the execution area, also replete with custom textured player heads as rotting heads and skulls. Here we have Jebel Amila Market and High Class Saloon. and Fred's fine rugs and not so fine rugs. Yep, some of them are fine, some of them are not. Senor Oliveira's pots, amphore, vessels, bottles, barrels, etc. There's a pot. And you know what? We're not going to look at every shop in here either, but we are going to pop up to the high-class saloon and have a look around. High-class saloon. Oh yeah, big special textured heads as cups and a barfin closet. Yeah. Enough of that. Over here. Oh, window. I thought that was the balcony. This is the balcony from which we can see some stuff. That house is on fire. It looks pretty grim. But that's that. Over here we have Fred's Fine Rugs exterior entrance. A well with a cauldron to dip into the well and get water. And what is this? This looks bad. Oh, looks like they didn't pay their protection fee. The Ethnian mafia must have got them. Well, we'll just not look at them because we wouldn't want to associate ourselves with their fate. And we'll wander over here. Ah, this looks like a little food preparation area under a tent or sort of a covering, an awning, one of those things. It's Abdul's Fried Cattle, home of the famous Blazing Greaseball. Now, I don't know if this Blazing Greaseball is a kind of food or what, but sounds pretty tasty. Okay, over here we have La Palomides Tallian Social Club. Ooh. Nice little place, actually. There's a lot of Tallians living in Ethnia after the Ethnians invaded and took over Tallia. Sad story, really. But, I think a creeper went off here, and you know, I sure am glad there aren't any mobs around. Anyway, creeper went off here. Sad. Back in the days when we had creepers, before I knew how to turn off mob spawning. Oh well. But still, this is a nice little archway, isn't it? Looks like some Handians have been living here. Oh, no, it's a Handian deli. Because that's the Handian flag. Perhaps Hand Guy will put up a story about the history of the Hand Guys and the Handites and the Prismar and all that stuff in one of his videos before I have a chance to talk about it in the history of Kaiia. But I hope he doesn't, because it's really a very interesting tale, and I will be telling y'all about it in the history of Kaiia. Yeah, I'm working on it. Over here, what's this? Lots of flags. Looks like some sort of big international building. Ah, it's a market complex. Since 567. That's a long time. That's 500 years before this present story has reached this point in time. Yeah, the point in time is, I believe, 1055. Over here we have Orpat Imports. Dry goods, wet goods, they don't seem to have any goods. Yeah, here's the backside of the market complex, and a half-built building, and a lot of unbuilt buildings. Now, we have a color system when it comes to laying out the base of these buildings. Magenta wool is for the walls and for lower class buildings. Black is for basic hovels. We have red is for mansions or very high class luxurious type stuff. Green, areas surrounded with green are markets. Cyan is upper middle class. Light blue is lower middle class stuff. And is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. No, white. I forgot what white is. Bam. Bye-bye. Well, let's walk through the central district here for a bit. We have a recruitment office or military sign-up place. Can't talk. But, make your family proud. Fight for Ethnia. Last chance to turn back. But of course, once you walk in here, there's no chance to turn back. There's a couple of guards who grab you and force you to sign the documents. Anyhow, we have a nice little shop here. What is it? Fine Tallian mud in little pots. Now I gotta wonder, why would anyone want to buy Tallian mud in little pots? Maybe they think it's good for you. It's not. No. But they sell it here at Farlands Incorporated, Independent Mercantile and Trade, established 345. That's a long time ago. Wow. Lots of stuff in here. This is actually one of the builds I'm quite proud of. Partially, mostly because of the exterior. Interior, it's kind of a mess. But, you know, these wagon wheels are pretty cool. They're just made with rails. I'll demonstrate. If you don't already know how to make a rail wagon wheel, it's very simple. Just put 4 rails in a square, and they'll connect to each other like this. And if they don't connect to each other like this, then you're doing something wrong. But I'm not going to leave that there. Right, so Handian gold. Wow, a meter by meter square of gold from Handia. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Muddy pots. That's a better description of the fine Elbonian mud in little pots. Where is Elbonia? That's not part of our story. This has nothing to do with the lore of our world. But carrying on down the street, we have on one side this building. I believe this was a casino. And I was really proud of the redstone here. I had a little randomizer here involving dispensers, note blocks, hoppers, and nothing happened. Let's turn that off. Is that redstone still activated? Yeah. Well, looks like it's broken. And I'm not going to get into that, but over here we have a bunch of doors. And I think the idea behind this was... Ow. Gotta get out of this hole. I think the idea behind this was one of these doors... Was it this one? No. Okay, I just failed. One of these doors has a gold block behind it. Ah, there you go. And if you don't select the door with the gold block behind it, you'll live. You'll live. Yeah, the people don't kill you. And if you do select the door with the gold block behind it, you die. That's basically pretty simple. And people bet on whether random people dragged in off the street are gonna live or die. It's pretty grim. Yeah, this is a dystopia we have here. This is an interesting building, which was originally built with a 1-block center. It now has a 2-block center. This is because when I first built it, I built it in the sky. Can I eat that? Yes, I'm looking at the sky now. And I had a hand guy copy it for me onto the ground. And he hated copying it so much that he was distracted by his hate and was unable to copy it correctly. However, I think it looks fine with a 2-block center, so y'all can forgive hand guy. Over here we have the League of Legitimate Business Persons. I believe this was going to be the Mafia headquarters. And I'm not sure what this is. There was some sort of execution machine in the corner, but it's not working. See, a lot of this stuff has not been built. For example, the wall here. There's no wall. Anyway. And now the best restaurant in the city. Amita Singh's fine South Ethnian cuisine. Really good food. Very expensive. Those hovel dwellers save up for years to go here. It's a nice place. We got a little bar with the special Tallian surprise. And please wait to be seated. Little lanterns. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yep. Ooh. What's this? This is not part of the build because these crime scene things would not normally be lore compatible, especially in this city where every piece of land is a crime scene. But anyway, I believe Hand Guy must have put this up. He's kind of in charge of keeping the peace around here, although sometimes he can be pretty heavy-handed about it. You gotta watch out for him. Anyway, this here is my realm, but I've tasked Hand Guy with, he's my second in command. I let him mess with people sometimes. sometimes a little bit too much. You'll hear more about this later in this video. Watch till the end. Anyhow, you have a hole, and there's a problem with the bazaar. This is the Grand Ethnian Bazaar. Well, I guess I'll leave Handite to find out who did it. But I know who did it. It's a creeper. Anyway, good luck tracking down that creeper, Handguy. But let's move on to the most luxurious house that is still not finished after several years. This place. This is the nicest house besides the Sultan's utterly unfinished palace. That's literally all of it that we've built. Anyway, this is a nice house. I built this a long time ago. Abu Ben Franklin captured on the Handian coast. Squid. Is this some sort of yes, it's a pool, I guess? More of a tank? Aquarium, yeah. A 2-story aquarium. Now, isn't it interesting that Abu Ben Franklin, the squid, is out there running a bad wines for low prices place? But I built it. Who am I to criticize it? Upstairs, we've got double-decker doors. This is an old build. I can build a lot better than this now. But it's not bad. We've got more double-decker doors and a porchy thing. Huh. And another bedroom. 2 bedrooms. I think the double-decker doors back in the day were to keep in a bunch of cats, which I had laying around, but they all despawned because I didn't give them names. Right, so now that we've looked at this place, here's all that we've built of the Sultan's, the God Sultan's huge palace. This is it. Oh my god. That's terrible. This is old stuff. This overuse of torches. I was such a noob. But anyway, this is an example of red wool layouts, which means this is a very high class creeper damage. Very high class house. Flaunting of water, I notice, which in a desert environment makes sense. Decorative water pools with little bridges. Cool. Anyway, that's it. It's gonna be pretty big, but that's all that we've built so far. There's the wall, faithfully built by Dark Chief. Here's a pit, and you'll see why this pit was pitted in a bit. And here is another barely built building. This was going to be the Ethnian military command. Let's see. Let's see what's down this. Ow. I can't even walk down this corridor. Who built this? This is intolerable. Okay. I think I built it. Never mind. Anyway, so this is the Ethnian military command war room discussion place thing. And I've always thought this is a really nice room. I think I built it, but Handguy might have built it, so I'm gonna take credit for it for now, but I can't remember who built it. But it's nice, especially for its time. I wasn't the best builder back then. I was better than most people, but I still wasn't very good. Perhaps I'm still not very good. Sob. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to make me feel better. Right, so that's the Ethnian military headquarters. And now, it's time for the offices. Now, just a disclaimer, these offices have absolutely nothing to do with the lore of Ethnia. In fact, they're completely out of world. They're just the offices, the headquarters of the M.C.O.E, of the Minecraft Corps of Engineers. You get to them through a secret door at the back of that little grocery store up there. But welcome to the Submarine. Now, I called it the Submarine because somehow with these reinforcey things and this sort of curvy shape and the little bit of the little fish tanky things, it felt sort of submarine-y, and it was a good name. I'm still quite proud of this office complex. There's lots of cool stuff. We're not going to look at it all, but let's just take a look at a few of the offices. The idea behind this was that players could come in to a place that I've built a little box for them and build themselves an office to decorate their office with, just for coolness. Here's Handguy's office. He has Notch, the creator, Jeb, head developer, and Dinnerbone, upside down. Yeah, cool. Not exactly a symmetrical room, I noticed, but it's fine. It's fine, Handguy. You were young. He's still young. He's younger than me, but not very much. Anyway, so we have this place. Now, because he's the second in command here, he got a fancy little environment. No one else gets to have an environment behind their chair. Now, when I was feeling very nice one day, I decided to make this for him. I made him a lurking place, 'cause y'all know Handguy loves to lurk. Okay, y'all probably don't know that, but I do. So I built him this. It's not private anymore, it's on YouTube. Anyway, Handguy's lurking place. Lots of decorative redstone and a chair. Cool. That's Handguy's lurking place, like a special second office for his office. An office, if you will. I notice a Handian flag and a Handite flag. That's natural because he invented the Handians and the Handites, mostly, which is understandable considering that his name is Handguy, that he also invented the Handguys. But we're in Ethnia, and I invented Ethnia. The name credit has to go to my dad, but I invented everything else. Alright, Piggy Longsnout's office. Alright, now this is quite interesting. Piggy Longsnout, a good player, is actually two players. A guy whose name begins with B, and a guy whose name begins with Y. They're brother and brother. And they both use the same Minecraft account, so they get one office. But their personalities are actually quite different. There's B Piggy and Y Piggy. And that's basically it. And I'm not sure which one of them decorated this office, but you got a dirt block with an acacia sapling. And I'm not one to quibble, so I'm not going to judge this office. Ah, very clever. He's put his orders. I give people orders in a mail room, which I may or may not show you. And he put a box. A box full of boxes, but really it's a chest. Alright, now this is quite interesting. The Ink Gang. Now, I just don't like saying Ink Gang, but there is a strange sort of countercultural movement on my realm called the Ink Gang. They decorate their offices with ink. Or rather, with squid-related stuff. Like water and a chest full of ink sacs and a squid spawn egg. I don't understand it at all. But at least somebody's sticking it to the man, me. Somehow, I guess. Whatever. They're not doing much sticking. But at least there's a gang, 'cause you always have to have gangs. Here's the mail room. Full of mail. We have a chest full of books and quills. I see a lot of mail's been written recently. And reading the mail of other players is a bannable offense, people. Don't do it, okay? But I'm gonna do it, 'cause I'm in charge. No, I'm not. Not on YouTube, but at least I'm gonna check my mail. I have a lot of mail. I'm not gonna read it. Here's Handguy's mail. I'm not gonna read his mail either. I've already read most of my mail, probably. Alright, and now, the story of FG Sack. To do this, this is probably the most colorful bit in the history of our realm. But first, I'm gonna go into my office. Fred's office. Now, because I'm in charge here, and I'm kind of flamboyant, admittedly, I built myself 3 offices. One for rewards. A very cheerful place. Very brightly colored. Actually, I didn't build this. Handguy built it at my request. But I did build my office for punishments. Basically the opposite. It's got a hole to the infinite infinity below. It's got dark, painful looking blocks. You have to walk across a tightrope to get over to my desk. It's got a lever, and when you pull the lever, you fall into the void, and you read a sign that says bye-bye, like a smartass that it is, and then you fall into the void as you fall through the stuff. There you go. Pretty ingenious, right? I call people in here, and then I kill them. It's the punishment office. I'm going to fix that carpet later. But I'm going to tell you the story in my main office, my admin office. Here we go. The style of this room, architecturally, is inspired by Senator Palpatine's office in the Star Wars prequel movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not like the Star Wars prequel movies, but I do like his office. So now that we're here, I'll just take the time to give you a quick rundown of FG Sack. So, I decided to invite this player named FG Shack, whom I know in the real world. He's a cool guy, actually. But when I invited him on, him and Handite did not really get along. I believe it started when he stood on this very desk here, and Handite hit him off with a stick. They hated each other ever since. Handite just couldn't stand FG Sack's, I guess, anti-authoritarianism attitude. He didn't like Handite's overbearing attitude and all the rules and restrictions present on this realm. Handite couldn't stand FG Sack's rebel attitude. It got worse and worse. Things escalated. FG Sack built a giant castle that was completely out of theme. Handite destroyed it with TNT. They TP'd each other into the sky and into the middle of nowhere. It was a war on my realm. I admit that I should have done more to stop it before I did. But before much more could be done, FG Sack had placed a block, a command block, that would spam kill Handite every time he came onto my realm. That was it. We decided to ban FG Sack. Sometimes I regret this, because FG Sack is actually quite a cool person and a skilled Minecrafter. However, he couldn't get along with Handite, and Handite's second in command here, and so, yeah, sorry, dude. But FG Sack left his mark, and their war has left its mark on the realm. There are still TNT spots left over from that period, and it's certainly the most colorful and interesting period in the realm's history. But it's long gone. This was over 2 years ago. Now we have another office that I built myself. This is my office for schmoozing with top builders. It's the Schmooze Office. There's a cool sort of underwater themed sort of, I don't know, kind of sci-fi thing in the background. Cool modernist desk. Over here we have the Schmooze Room. A little bar that I, built myself a while ago for schmoozing. Little seats. You can actually, like, stand behind there. There's barriers. Now, I'd probably get Dark Chief, who's actually very obedient, surprisingly, to be the bartender on here, as he did once in the other bar. There's another bar. You go over here. I built another little bar for hanging out with devs. This is the hanging out with devs room. You go down here. The dev lounge. You go over here. Here we go. Clear floor. Isn't that fancy? Dev lounge, bar and chat room. Open that. What? It's not working? How is that possible? What's wrong with this? That's bizarre. That ought to work. See? It's a work in progress. Oh, I know what's going on. Haha. There we go. This ought to work now. Now we're getting somewhere. Right, anyway. Sorry about that. So you close the door, you open the door, you go in, and clear floor with the void beneath. And over here we have a sort of an abstract, technological looking stuff. And here we have the fancy bartender area, where if you're there, there's instructions on how to make drinks and something to open and close the door with. But that's enough of that. And I believe we're almost done with the offices. There's more offices, obviously, but really I don't have the patience to look at all of it. I'm just going to go out of here. See, all of this was built over a long period of time without much great dedication. And it basically just sort of accumulated, if you will. But I'll just have a look over at the engine room, design studio. Level 2 permit required? I have the highest level permit. I can get through there. Engine room decor Tantive 4, built by Handite and Fred, in celebration prior to the 2017 release of The Last Jedi. Yeah, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Before I watched it, I built this. Star Wars themed corridor. This is inspired by the Tantive 4, that is, the blockade runner from the beginning of Episode 4. As you can see, I've done my best to replicate those panels and screens and things that they have there, as well as the gray floor and the ceiling and stuff. Over here, we have the hologram design example viewing room. Making use of the then newly added structure blocks, I have built a thing. And on this thing, I can load up examples of different kinds of builds. This, for example, is Ethnian hovel. And this is just so that people can see the Ethnian hovel and know what to put on all that black wool. Pretty simple. And that's all that all this crazy hallway was for. So, yeah, it's pretty complicated. For not that much benefit, but you know it was fun to build. You always got to build fun to build stuff. Right, so we'll coral there. That's about it when it comes to the offices. Now let's see if there's anything else in this city worth looking at. I mean, there's always the different neighborhoods, and there's lots of that neighborhoody stuff. But, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have a look over at the temple. Blessed be those who enter here, and blessed be their journeys. That's the basic Kaiian blessing that all the Kaiian cultures who actually have the same religion, but they just do it in very different ways. Or rather, it's a different religion, but they worship the same gods. Because in this world, the gods are real. Alright, so they're actually like super advanced beings who come down and do god stuff. And anyway, so we've got chairs and stuff, and a thing to stand on for preaching, preachy books, prayer books, little altar-y things, lots of Ethnian flags. This is the Ethnian flag, by the way. And is that it? Yeah, that's about everything. Going back to the city gate. Oh yeah, wait. I'm just gonna have a look over at this well. Has it been repaired? Yeah, it's been repaired. So that was a little interesting point, that back in the FGSAC period, Handguy thought the well had been griefed by FGSAC. It actually wasn't. A creeper blew it up, I believe. FGSAC denied blowing it up many times. And to this day, Handguy has never gotten over the suspicion that somehow FGSAC may have hacked our servers and gotten in and be wrecking everything. So whenever some explosion goes off, or there's a hole in the build, or something is not quite right, Handguy goes, was it FGSAC? It wasn't, of course, because FGSAC is not an evil person. And also because, I don't know, maybe he's not smart enough to be a hacker. Okay, he's smart enough, but he's not very knowledgeable in that region. So, Handguy, it's not FGSAC, but, well, actually, you never know, it might be. Leave a like for Handguy so he can get over his paranoia after that terrible incident. And now, I think that's about it. That wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I've been Fred, and I'll be signing off now. Leave a like, subscribe, and go build Ethnian stuff or desert stuff, because desert stuff is cool. I like building in a desert. It's also really easy because it's flat. It's a flat world. Anyway, build desert things because fun. And see you in another Minecraft video soon.